Oh yeah, baby. Welcome back to Mac and Free, and we'd rather be with you on this Tuesday evening. But look, we got to finish up with Will and Jada so we can get into some other subjects real quick, Free. And again, this is really less about Will and Jada and more about society, man. Because when, like I said, we got to quit with the double standards. Because again, women, honestly, what Jada Pinkett in this particular situation, like R. Kelly's going to be a different monster, but R. Kelly had some of these situations in his repertoire. We murdered him for it, and we should. R. Kelly is where he should be. Matter of fact, R. Kelly is where he should have been a very long time ago. So please do not mince my words and where I stand on that particular subject. But what I'm saying is we have a tendency to condemn men for the same actions, and I think that's fair. While at the same time, we also as men have a tendency to ask for forgiveness in situations way too often that we don't accept from women, and we don't accept the same answers that they give in those particular situations. Sounds like Will has, but we should start doing, we've got to be better at that, in my opinion, Free. And that's really all I wanted to say about that, or tell them, Forrest.
And that's all I have to say about that.
That's funny.
Go ahead, Free.
That's real funny. No, I ain't got too much to really. I told you, D. I'm past that, man. I just think that society in a whole,
Yeah.
needs to check themselves. I think
Yes.
a lot of times we run into, well, when you see people very adamant about calling things out and doing things, I think it's to hide what they might be into, and everything is a reflection. Uh, so, I'm ready to move on that. You know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's part of the game. But speaking of that, this is not really a smooth transition. But we do want to let y'all know that we were having a conversation the other day, and I was like, I keep getting these daggone ads to show up on my timeline, and it's for like body butters and facial creams and cleansers and all kinds of foolishness. And Free's like, yeah, man, you're soft. And I'm like, hold on, man. What happened to the black don't crack? You have to take care of yourself, and just eating the right foods and vitamins ain't always it. Like, you got to get sleep, and you got to moisturize, man. And as John Witherspoon always said, you also have to coordinate. So, but it brought us into a conversation about metrosexuality versus good self-care, and when is it going too far? Now, I saw something the other day about dudes getting eyelashes. I think that's going a little too far. But Free, when is it too far, man? Because I'm gonna talk about myself here in a minute, and I don't want to give out all my secrets, but I try to do the best I can to take care of myself in terms of hygiene, brother. So when is good self-care tinkering on the line of metrosexuality?
Yeah, and let us be clear. There's nothing wrong with any of it. We just had somewhat of a debate of like when you're one or the other. And let me say this. I'm conscious of certain health care. Like, I try to use natural oils and stuff like that for my skin and my hair.
For sure.
But I'm not so in particular, like, where I got to do hours and hours of research and stuff. I mean, I kind of know in general what I like to see and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think that's being conscious of your self-care. Now, when you have a routine that you follow.
Wait a minute. What's wrong with routine? What's wrong with routine? I don't, and Free's tending to his children, but I know he can still hear me, so I want to make sure he understands.
I'm back. That I'm sorry, but
What?
when I mean a strict routine, I'm not talking about like your morning routine. I'm talking about like a strict routine, like I get my feet done every week or every other
Oh
week
yeah,
as a male, or I gotta make sure that I get my nails done every 2 weeks. I gotta get my hair cut every week and a third.
yeah.
When you have strict routines for uh, yourself, I think that's when you begin to cross the line so much. And like I say, ain't nothing wrong with it. That's how you care for yourself. But I would say I think I'm more conscious of what I put on my body. Like I follow some of the teachers that say uh, anything you put on your skin, you should be able to eat by mouth, or you
Right.
should be able to take by mouth, or put in your food. Like I use a lot of grapeseed oil, some natural oils and stuff
But
like
see that's
that.
the thing. But say that's the thing though. They actually tell you from some health readings that I've read, grapeseed oil ain't good to put in your body either.
It's not. I'm not talking from a health eating standpoint, but if
Hmm.
you eat or take grapes, it's not poisonous to where you have lotions and certain chemicals that if you take by mouth, you'll get
Yeah, for sure.
sick and
Yeah.
real sick. Like people cook with grapeseed oil. No oil for that matter is really good
Well,
for
olive
your
oil
body.
is.
Not really. When you heat up oil, but we can get into that discussion. So if you want to be technical in the longevity of things, just in being primal health, no,
Yeah.
it's not very many oils. Some people say hemp seed oil is the best oil because it's better when it's heated up. Because when you heat oils, but I'm not getting into that. But what I'm saying is, um, uh, an olive oil I can digest. I can put it in salads cold. I can do whatever, but I can also use it to moisten my skin, or use it for healing wounds or whatever in my skin. So that's what I mean. Anything that you can take in my, I try to use. I don't try to use anything
Well, let
with
me
heavy,
ask you. Let me ask
heavy
you this: Can you
chemicals or
can you ingest shea butter?
yes, you can. Now, I don't know because a lot of times people put like some perfumes and stuff in shea butter, so it might get you sick. It depends on how natural it is. But
Yeah, because I'm wondering about that because there's. I mean, and again, like I have always been super big on hygiene, and that's it's not because I have any extra stinky anything. It's just if something stinks, like I can't stand it. So if I stink, I can't stand myself. So I make sure I keep up with my own hygiene pretty regularly. So I try a multitude of different things, and I also grew up with my grandmother who was big on putting that Noxzema mask on your face, which I realized was absolutely ridiculous as I got older. But she made me do it when I was younger. So, but it's one of those things where it's just like, look, man, you just want to take as good care of, and you have to think about when you out and you about and you. And I've always been an all natural type of guy. So when it comes to all natural, I'm all for it for the most part. If you find me a good farm to table
hey,
restaurant, I'm
hey,
I'm with it.
hey, Mac, but I believe that was you in that Heavy D video talking about that's that Noxzema girl.
Whatever. But my point, my overall point is like I try to make sure that I'm all for that. So with the beard, I try to make sure the oils or I use oil in the beard or just or conditioner stuff
Yeah,
like that. But I try to make sure that it's from things that are
yeah. And,
of the
and,
earth.
and, and
But
shout out to the comedian Talent. That's who really said it. Shout out to Talent.
yeah.
I had to joke you on that when you said the Noxzema mask. But go ahead.
But no, I mean, my grandma put me on that a long time ago. But what she got me into was making sure that I kept up with my skin and making sure that I stayed moisturized. And it just got me into a habit. But I'm not the one that's like, this got to do X, Y, and Z. But when you out and about and you out in the world and you get all kinds of pollutions in your face, it's good to not only just brush your teeth at night, but also wash your face at night and then moisturize it at night and then wake up in the morning and wash your face again and then brush
All
your
right.
teeth again.
All
Like
right.
it's
Well, Mac, But Mac, I'm gonna have to call you to the forefront because there's a lot of stuff Mac is skipping over right here, y'all. And
What am I skipping over?
we gotta be honest with our fans. And I need this is for the fellas. For the fellas, if we engulfed in a conversation, fellas.
Oh no.
Is it appropriate for one of your homeboys to use the term exfoliate? That's all I'm saying. We say something that'll really get your skin clean or something that'll
what's wrong with exfoliate?
When a brother says exfoliate, he's crossed over. He's metro.
That is not
metrosexual.
First
ain't
off,
nothing wrong with it. Ain't nothing wrong. Just be who you are.
No, first off, that ain't true. If I want to say the word exfoliate instead of the series of words getting my skin really, really clean, then let me use the word exfoliate. If they mean the same thing.
Really open my pores or cleanse my pores. I'd have gave you that. But exfoliate, brother,
it's one
you're
word.
all the way on the side of metrosexual. I've seen your nails, man. I've seen your nails.
No, you have not, because I do not. For one, I don't get my nails done. I keep my nails cut real low, so I don't have to keep the maintenance up on stuff like that. So I always cut my nails low.
That's the difference. See, you cut them, you keep your nails low. See, I take the LeBron James approach. I bite them. Let's go.
Yeah, I don't have time for all that.
Now ain't nobody gonna want to shake my hand and stuff. Nah, I sanitize. I'm joking.
I keep a pair of nail clippers. I ain't even gonna lie, but I keep nails off of me because I can't stand them. Hair is a little different. I just make sure I get my hair cut. Now I still do that every 2 weeks. Like I refuse to do that once a week. I don't have that kind of time in a day, man. Like I just don't have that kind of time.
Yeah, that's and I used to try to do 2 weeks until I went broke. But I know some brothers that's like haircut this week, shape up next week, haircut the next week, shape up.
I don't have that kind of time to spend in the barbershop, man. Like I gotta make moves. Like what?
For real, especially with you, because you know you got to argue about LeBron and Jordan.
Oh my God, that is.
But we ain't gonna start that back up. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I'm just saying, like that's so to the women out there who look at their man when he come home 5 hours later at the barbershop, and he was at the barbershop, and you looking at his hair, and you notice that his hair is only 2 millimeters lower than it was when he left. And it's got a little bit of a shape up on it, and you trying to figure out why he was gone for 5 hours. Free just answered that question. That's why. Because we've been in the barbershop arguing for 5 hours about who's better between LeBron and Mike. And I'm going to tell you now, my barber is the slowest. Like, if you got somewhere to be, you cannot go in there talking about LeBron. You cannot go in there talking sports because you'll be there forever. And the way my and I love him to death. But I'm telling you, my barber is the one that can't walk and chew gum. And I ain't saying nothing to y'all that I ain't said to him, so I don't mind saying it here. But he will be the one that will sit there, and he got to stop. And he'd be like, man, Jordan, he would do this. And now he got to reenact the dunks. And then he got to go through the legs. And then he getting hype. And now he got to run a high five down the line of everybody that's there. And then he got to do the wiggly legs, the stinky leg, and then he'll come back, and then they start cutting your hair. By the time he done that, man, he barely got the first line off your head, man. So now, you've been in there 3 hours. You've been in the chair. Your bottom done fell asleep. You got to stand up a couple of times to wake up your legs, and all y'all done this entire time is argue about LeBron. And ain't nobody in there in a hurry to get home. And that's the one thing that I find interesting. So that's not metrosexual. That's sports, baby. That's just sports. But we're going to come right back and we're going to talk about Samuel L. Jackson and how underrated he is. Because when I release this new piece of information, you're gonna agree with me. Mac and Free.
Say